Ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is. HIPHOPMIKE live from Studio Square Recording. I have a special guest who is one of my favorite people of all time. Its Bizkitt is in the building.
I feel like I heard that before. I feel like I heard you say that about somebody else. Man.
It sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have a few people, but like I was thinking,
I'm top five.
Top five for sure. And I'm very grateful to see you alive and well.
Oh man, yeah, man, for real. During these times, man, it's spooky, man. I never realized I could even have anxiety because I'm so used to being in the jungle with lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my! But now it's like when you see somebody and it's like you go in the elevator and you don't have a mask or they don't have a mask. It's kind of like it's weird. Now I kind of like see like what germaphobes and people like that go through. Because I never been like that. I go get gas, I grab the pump, fill it up, eat a slice of pizza right after, and don't worry about. I never even probably brought hand sanitizer in my life. Yeah. I wash my hands. I'm very clean, you know what I'm saying? But just that whole like fear of like something might have, you know what I mean, germs.
That's a fact. But you known for being washed originally, and now to be outside is very like you've come a long way, bro.
Oh, I mean, you know, it's a lot of ups and downs, and it's just, you know, it's like one of those things where it's almost like you gotta kind of like talk to yourself like, yo, where am I at? Why did I start this? Where do I want to go? You gotta like really be your own coach, your own fan, your own everything, because, you know, hearing things in this industry from different people and reading comments, that could make you throw in the towel when it's really never ever the time to throw in the towel. It's always time to go hard, and when people even switch up on you, you go harder, you know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing, man. Like, honestly, driving in this morning, I was thinking about, like, you know, how are we going to do this interview? Because I've known you for a minute. Mm-hmm. And like I said, at this point, you're one of my favorite people ever. But it didn't always start like that. In the very beginning, it was like, what is this guy doing? Who is this dude? He does so much with, like, different artists and is all over the place. And I didn't understand. Mm-hmm. And now, when I really think about, like, my favorite people in this industry, people that I respect, is a very short list.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, like, outside of Rosenberg, you're at the very top of that list, bro. Like, real talk. No generic for the interview. It's very short list.
I appreciate it. And likewise, that's why, like, anytime you ever reach out to me or I reach out to you, it's always, you know, it's always the same. It's like, you know, if I could pull up on you, you could pull up wherever I'm at. It's always love. It's always the same vibe. You know what I mean? I could always come to you for advice and, you know, just that real, like, brother shit. You know what I'm saying? We can curse, right?
Yeah, of course.
All right, so fuck everybody. But nah, you know, so it's like that whole vibe. And, again, it's very rare, especially in this industry that we're in. It's hard to, like, tell somebody something without them tweeting about it.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I think that's the thing, man, is like the reason I've gained so much respect is, you know, in the beginning I didn't understand, and I think of going through a lot of the stuff myself, you know, you're a guy that has always been like that with everybody. And in this industry, when you're like that with everybody, when you show up, when you pull up, you don't always get that energy in return.
Yeah, for real. And that's the tricky part, because, like, it kind of like, it'll turn you into that. It'll turn you into acting funny and second-guessing everything. And, you know, when you're just a genuine dude, like, you know, obviously I got burnt a million times, you know what I'm saying?
At least.
Helping somebody and showing love and then thinking that they're going to return. You know, you throw a Frisbee, you think it's going to come back. You're like, oh, shit, where'd the Frisbee go? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's why there's contracts. That's why there's lawyers. That's why there's business. Like, when you really have your business intact, and, you know, good people's around you, it's kind of like, you know, you kind of like weed all of that out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, straight up. And over time, I think you start building real, genuine friendships that you do get the support, you know?
Yeah, nah. And again, thank God, you know, like you really have to, it's kind of like, you know, when you first starting out, it's almost like you kind of have to get burnt.
Straight up, to learn.
Like, to learn. And unfortunately, it's like that. That's why when I see people coming in, I always just try to tell them, like, the do's and the don'ts. Like, yo, don't do this, don't do that. Don't, you know, be careful when you do business with so-and-so or so, you know, just be careful, man. Just be mindful and again, have your business first. This is the music business. So business is first. Like, you know what, before I just get out here, because, you know, I done got sued.
know cease and desist
So
from
many
CNN.
CNN, Major Baseball League Association.
It's crazy.
New York Times. You know, I posted when Troy Ave came out of jail. He was holding a crutch. One of the photographers that took the picture that sold it to New York Times or Daily News, one of them. I posted on my site just like everybody. Troy Ave, blah blah blah, and they hit me. They hit me with a lawsuit for using their image without permission.
Crazy.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, I'm the biggest blogger in the world, but it's like, cause I get traffic. You know what I'm saying? Everybody could post it, but they're like, oh, let's.
They want to eat off your traffic.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, again, but now, you know, lawyers and just being secure and just, you know, you learn, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I want to take it back. Like, I seen you post something the other day of, like, when you come in this game, you got to do things for free, especially in New York.
Yup.
Before Its Bizkitt, before Wash, before all this shit, I'm sure regular kid from Long Island, fan of hip-hop, where does this begin for you that you even want to get into this fucking crazy world that we in now?
I mean, just being a fan of, like, you know, hip-hop, the culture. I mean, you know, I had older sisters. They was, like, my older sister, Elise and Breaker. Shout out to my sisters, man. You know, just being in the crib, you know, listening to the music that, you know, like when Doggy Style came out, like, you know, you couldn't listen to that type of stuff when, you know, your parents, like, when my mom was in the crib, so when she left, we blasting, and my sister was, like, a big Snoop Dogg fan and stuff like that, so we were just into the music, and then I actually got some, like, early going to concerts experience. Like, I remember I saw Naughty by Nature when I was in North Carolina. I got family out there, and, like, I'm watching, like, hip-hop, hooray, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, oh, shit, this shit is live, you know? So I, like, snuck backstage, met Tretch back then, caught a flick with him, which God knows where that picture is. But even, like, seeing him, I'm like, back then, you know, you watching TV, they look like everybody, you think everybody's LL Cool J, everybody's like, and I'm like, damn, this dude is kind of short, you know what I'm saying? I think I even told him that, like, yo, you mad short. But, you know, just being a fan of hip-hop and then, like, you know, just being involved and going to studios back in the day and then, like, actually creating mixtapes. Like, with, you know, local artists and, you know, just putting mixtapes together. And I was doing that back, like, in 2000.
Early.
Yeah.
I love that it was, like, sneaking backstage and creating mixtapes, because I kind of got into this the same way. And I think, like, is there another way being from Long Island? You know?
I mean, that's the thing. It was like, you know, I used to go to the city. I used to jump on the Long Island Railroad, go to the city. I would go up in Def Jam and all of those spots. And at first, you kind of got to sneak in there because it's like, who the hell are you and what are you doing? So, but, like, when you coming through, like, I used to walk in with a box of CDs and just walk fast, like, yo, you know what I'm saying?
Like,
and then,
regular.
Go from door to door and look around. And then, you know, networking, even back in those days, before social media, it was like, you had to approach people the right way. You couldn't be like, yo, what's up? Yo, check your DM with a money bag emoji. You would have to be like, yo, I'm so-and-so, I'm from Long Island, I'm doing mixtapes, yo. You know, so I built relationships with people from the labels back then, like Ramsey from Rockefeller, back in those days. And a few times, like, you would see Jay-Z, Ding Dash, like,
just
know,
walking
Jim
the hallways.
Jones, Cam, and all that. And I'm like, oh, shit, like, what's good? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and again, I always had, and I've always, like, creating platforms and different things, even back then, like, with the mixtapes. Shout out to Tape Masters Inc. I partnered up with them. We was doing thousands, like, on every drop. Every time we put out a mixtape in the streets, we would, and obviously get bootleg crazy, but, man, we would do, some tapes we did 50,000 units. You
It's
know
crazy.
I mean? We was moving.
And especially because I know you was the guy that's at the computer burning this in the tower box.
I had like 10 burning towers. Even when DJ shot the Drama and Cannon, when you know they had their situation and the boys ran up in their studio and took, I think, like 80,000 CDs that they had at the time.
Crazy.
Like right after that, maybe like a month later, rest in peace to my boy Wex. You know what I'm saying? Tape Masters Inc. and my boy Lex. You know, his birthday was just past, like October 3rd. So, long story short, he called me one day. I had a gold Dodge Stratus with Texas plates. You know what I mean? Long story.
Of course you did.
So I had. It was just me in the car. I think I had the Nextel Chirp maybe back then, or one of them flip phones. You had to flip it. So, you know, back then, you know, he was blowing my phone up, and I'm like, damn, I'm on my way. I had to burn more CDs. You know, we was moving. We just did a drop. So I had literally the whole trunk full of boxes. And the boxes, if anybody remember back in the day, it hold like 200 mixtapes. So I had like the whole trunk full, the whole back seat all the way up to the ceiling, even the front seat. I had, you know, boxes all the way stacked. So I'm driving, and I'm picking up the phone. I'm like, yo, what up, Lex? He like, yo, don't come to the office. Cops are here. So I'm like, I was literally just getting off the exit. So I turned around. They ran in the office. We had the mixgame.com.
Crazy.
So we was killing them, man. Like, we was doing our thing. And, you know, fast forward, like, shit just changed. And, you know, the iPods came out.
Well, what was the goal then? Like, when you was doing all these mixtapes, did you have an idea of what you wanted to do, or was it just the rush of being out here and connecting with people? And
I mean, yeah, we was, you know, we was, man, we had mixtapes hosted by Beyonce, you know what I'm saying? So as far as like the mixtape, like that mixtape era, I always wanted to do classic tapes, and you know, inspired by, you know, Envy and Clue and K Slay, and I had Tapes Top 20, which was like competing with like the Hot 97s back in the day. So it was always same thing like today. It's always about just killing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, straight up.
Killing it, like, you know what I mean? Doing numbers, making money, having fun, and building, you know? And even during those times, like, French Montana, I used to meet up with him in the Bronx and get the Come Up DVDs. So
Crazy.
It's like, I done came up with all of them, you know what I mean? Yeah. And always supported, you know, not, you know, we never bootleg nobody's stuff. We always got it from them, you know what I mean? So just supporting you know, that's the thing people don't understand. It's like people see how much support I get, but I give 10 times
at least.
You know what I'm saying?
When you're linking up with these people, that site that you mentioned, what was it called?
The Mix Game.
The Mix Game. I'd imagine that's one of the first earliest sites that.
Yeah, it was one of them for sure.
What was the idea with that? Because I mean, to be on the internet game that early, even pre-iPod.
Yeah, that was like
it's crazy.
That was just the time where it was like, that was kind of like the thing, like, you know, having a mixtape website. You know, like, that was around internet radio. A lot of internet radio shows started popping up. Me and Killer Touch, we had the Leak Show on DTF Radio, and that was like when Tahiri was blowing up crazy. You know, her and Joe Buttons was doing their
wild
man.
shit.
They was going crazy on the internet, and me and Killer Touch, you know, we had, you know, everybody pull up, man. On the Leak Show, it was in Brooklyn at DTF Radio, so I got that, like. You know, we was early on the internet radio show, and even during that time, I realized, like, damn, I need to have my own site, because I was always creating content, and I had a flip cam. I was always able to get anybody on my camera, you know, at the time, because I was always involved. I was always in the loop. I was always meeting up with these people, so I started just recording stuff, but I was just putting it out, and, like, Vlad and Worldstar was, like, posting my videos, and I was so hyped because I'm like, yo, that's my video.
Yeah, it's big.
But then at the same time, I'm like, people are like, yo, they making money off their site. And I'm like, oh shit, I need a site.
Well, that's my question for you. Did it naturally just become that everybody recognized you? Because most people that are big bloggers, you say, are only known by other big bloggers. Like, you're known by the people.
Well, see, the thing is, too, like, with the bloggers, a lot of them talk a lot of shit. a lot of people, they get their traffic from negativity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which, again, honestly, that's not a hard thing to do. You know what I mean? You can start a site today and write a fake article by anybody that has a name, and you're going to get some type of traffic, especially when, you know, the artist engages or says, yo, that site posted something fake about me. People still going to check that site. Yeah. So that site is going to get traffic, you know what I'm saying? Which, again, that's the easy route, is, you know, talking shit about trolling people. But see, I'm going back to like the early stages when I did a lot of backstage work, a lot of promoting concerts and shows. I love being out. Yeah. So I was never somebody to just talk shit about people behind. That's just not me. You know what I'm saying? I get all the dirty laundry always. I know crazy. I got shit on my phone that'll break the internet in half.
I'm sure.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I'm just not on that type of time. I don't need to expose somebody to get traffic, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that genuine energy wins out. Like, at the end of the day, I feel like you've always done it in a way where you're willing to cover people, and anything that you're known to cover now is gonna go viral. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's out of control at this point.
Nah, facts.
When do things like transition? Because to run around and bust all these moves and do the mixtapes, I mean, obviously you start your own site, but it quickly turns into like the clothing line, the radio show, just everything.
And I'll say with the clothes, like, you know what I mean? I've always been running around with rappers, and it's like 9 times out of 10, like, they will see me and be like, yo, Biz, what the hell are you wearing? You know what I'm saying? Because I've always just been like, I'll just wear some crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my, like, I got a lot of passion for that. That's why it's easy for me to go viral with a Newport outfit on or something, because, like, that's what I do. So it's like, back then, people would send me clothes to get, like, you know, French, Jada, Chinx, like, anybody I was around, like, yo, you think you can get French my hat, or yo, you think you can get them to wear it? And I'm like, send it to me. You know what I'm saying? Because like around that time, French and Chinx was starting the whole Coke Boy tour. We was putting that together, the first Coke Boy tour. So I'm like, yo, we about to be on tour. I was telling every clothing line that was following me or fucking with me, like, yo, send me some clothes. So long story short, my boy Aura, he had like a clothing line that kind of matched like our whole style, what we was doing. So I said, yo, send me something. So he sent me a package, and the day that I got the package, Long Island, you know, that drive to the Bronx.
Yeah, everywhere. I already know. You be all over.
Going from Long Island to the Bronx, and once I got to the Bronx, it was French, Chinx, and all, you know, at that time, French was still in the Bronx. He had 30 niggas with him at all time.
I want to mention that quick, that Biz, like, a lot of people try and get around artists, but it's like, you're around just genuine people making music.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't when French is French.
Right,
This isn't very early
this isn't
that you're
Pop
supporting
That.
these guys.
This isn't Pop That. This isn't Shot Caller. This is pre all of that. And, you know, once I got around, you know, all of them, like always, you know, I'm passing out the merch that my boys sent me. And then from there, I went to Yonkers with Killer Touch to link up with Jada, and I gave Jada some of the merch. And at that time, Twitter was popping. So my boy, the next day, he called me and said, yo, Biz, I just sent you that shit. I seen Jada with it, Chinx with it, French. Like, yo, when did you see these niggas? I'm like, that same day. You know what I mean? So he was like, yo, send me your logo, and I'll press it up on some shirts. And he hit me like 3 times for my logo, to the point where he just went on my website and ripped it off and sent me shirts. So when he sent me shirts with my logo on it, I just started wearing it. We was doing video shoots every day, and Chinx one day saw me, and he's like, yo, Biz, you the only one that wear your shirts, man. Give me one. Like, I'm about to wear that shit on stage. And so again, it wasn't something that I was really like trying to.
There's no agenda.
Yeah, I wasn't like, yo, I'm about to start selling merch. It was just like I was wearing it. You know what I mean? So once Chinx and French started wearing it, performing it, and then they seen Busta Rhymes, and then Busta Rhymes talking to his security guard like, yo, where's everybody getting these shirts from? He's like, yo, that's my man Biz. He got a website. So I went, linked up with Busta Rhymes, gave him one, and then it just turned into like everybody wanted Its Bizkitt shirt. You know what I'm saying?
What was it about Chinx and French? Because I know that was like a pivotal point for you to link with these artists that ended up becoming A-listers. And I know you discover tons and tons of artists. What was it about them specifically that you just believed in that from the jump?
Yeah, I mean, see, like, you know, just from being like outside even back then, it's like, you know, I always know energy, and I always know, like, I'm always tapped in all over the world. So it's like when it comes to New York and Long Island and where we from, it's like I know who's who and what's what. Like I know the block not to pull up on. I know, you know, I just know what's going on. I'm very in tune with what's going on, especially in my backyard. So it's like I knew French. I was telling Chinx, I'm like, yo, we gotta get with French, because I was selling the mixtape. So I would go out to Connecticut, and French would be out there every weekend doing walkthroughs, doing shows, and I'm seeing it. I seen when Nicki Minaj did like her first show back in the day in Queens, and I'm sitting there and I'm looking at these young girls. That's when Fendi was running around with the come up DVDs. I'm there looking like, oh shit, these girls know every word. This is before social media. So it's like I was telling Chinx, I was like, yo, French is lit. We gotta get with French. And he was like, you know, he was already crazy. And see with Chinx, he was already fucking with a lot of people that were fucking with French. And then, you know, Max B, but then Max B got locked up. Because, like, Chinx had, like, a song or two with Max B. So, you know, when I just saw it, you know what I'm saying, early, and I was like, yo, I told, that's when I first met Harry Fraud. And then when I met Fraud even, I was blown away because I'm listening to all of this music that French had, and I'm just like, damn, who did this beat? So when I met Fraud, and Fraud was like, I was like, you made this beat? And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, because, you know, sometimes people have like 3 different people that combine, you know, collaborate on a production. And I'm like, wait, all right, so you.
Well, like, Fraud's an interesting figure too. You would never expect Fraud to be so in tune with the streets just looking at
it. It's still to this day, you know what I mean? It's crazy. So, you know, we just became family. Like, we was just working, and at that time I was blogging. So,
how'd you and Chinx meet? Because if you met him before French, that means there was no hype there at the time.
Yeah, nah, I knew Chinx from Stacks, you know what I mean? Because even back then I was doing mixtapes, so I needed that Stack Bundles freestyle. So it's like, where's Stack Bundles at in Queens? All right, that's where I'm going.
Outside.
See, back then you couldn't, like, that was literally before email. So it's like, if you wanted that Styles P freestyle, you know, that mixtape era, you had to go to Yonkers. You had to, like, you know, you wanted that Meek Mill freestyle, like, you had to tap in with Philly. You had to move around like that. So, like, when I was moving around, I was doing my mixtape stuff, I would come through with a box of CDs, like, yo, I'm Bizkit.
Wow.
I got these mixtapes, like, yo, let me get, you got any unreleased songs or something? Like, we doing numbers. So it was like, it was a lot of that. So, you know, during that time, it was like, you know, Chinx got locked up. He did like 4 years, and as soon as he came home, at the time, Red Cafe was that guy. So I'm in the club with Red Cafe. I had 2 limos that night, had my own section, and then, like, out of nowhere, I'm just looking, and I saw Chinx. So I was like, oh shit! I pulled him up, like, yo, come through. Like, I got, you know what I mean, 10 girls in my section, bottles, like, so right then and there. He was like, yo, I just came home, and that was like MySpace era, you feel me, like 07, 08, and bro, I ain't gonna lie, I was moving, bro, like, I was plugged in with my man Set It Off, my man Set, he had Set It Off records, he, Casual from Long Island, we went to Australia, that's when Flo Rida had apple bottom jeans, you know what I'm saying, I was in Australia lit, my nigga, back in the day, like, I gotta find those MySpace pics, Mike.
It's crazy, bro.
I've been lit for a little minute.
Not for nothing. I feel like people, like, you never was so out there of telling people the work you was doing. You just did the work.
Yeah, because again, like, when you really doing what you do, you really don't have the time to really be like, yo, I did this and I'm doing that and yo, I'm about, you know, like, I have conversations with certain people about like my visions and like what I'm. Bro, you know, think about it. It's been a year since I dropped my first song that you supported, that I got support from. But at that time, even people was just like, they was just so scared to even do anything other than say, oh, what the hell is Biz doing? But, you know, my shit is streaming.
Well, so that's where the disconnect was with me, because I came in and I had no idea about any of this work. And I'm just seeing this kid that, not a rapper, that more times than not, bloggers is trying to work themselves into situations, and you don't really get the big picture. And then especially in this game where everybody is like, look at my accolades, look who I know.
Yeah.
It's very hard to differentiate who really about what.
Yeah.
And I think you're somebody who's grown on people over time for being genuine, but not bragging about being genuine is also a whole nother thing.
Yeah. Nah, and again, it's like, a lot of like my peoples and a lot of different people always be like, yo, bitch, you gotta tell them what you do and like what you did. And it's like, you know, I don't have no problem like saying certain things, but it's like, I'm just the type of person, I don't like taking credit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to. Like,
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, like I do what I do, and I done did some things, like I done moved mountains. I done got people big deals, and I'm still on my phone right now plugging away and doing things, but it's just like I'm more into actually doing it than talking about doing
Straight
it.
up.
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you really won my respect over when you started with the whole Wash campaign.
Yeah.
It was a little bit before you had went viral. I think you had less than 100K on the gram, but it was like, the fact that you embraced this lifestyle of being Wash is not hip hop at all. But
shout out to Wash Gang, man. Somebody actually got a Wash Gang tattoo. That's when I was like, you know what? Because I don't have no tattoos, and I have a lot of people that's nice with tattoos. You know, Joe, he doing tattoos.
Yeah,
all the time.
Joe crazy.
Shout out
Big
to
up
Joe.
J.O.
Yeah. So it's like, I'm just not a, you know, it's just not me. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, even like, you know, again, rest in peace to Chinx, long live Chinx, but Chinx, pardon me. He had, yeah, all I had was Hennessy and eggs, you know what I mean? But, like, Chinx, was, like, trying to get me to get a tat. And he was, like, one of the few people that can get me to get a tat, but I just never did. So, when I saw that guy with the Wash Gang tattoo, this is, like, when Twitter was getting crazy. And I was a Twitter nigga. Like, I wasn't really, I would post, like, one thing on Instagram, 2 things. But once my Twitter got suspended, it forced me to use Instagram more. And that's when I'm, you know, again, I'm just spending time on Instagram. And I'm like figuring out, like, all right, like, what should I post? And then, like, I always have viral type clips and stuff. So I started doing that on Instagram. Then my Instagram got deleted. Because it's like, you can't post that. It's guidelines, you feel me? Yeah. So I done, like, that's why I be trying to tell people, man, I done been still, my Twitter's still suspended. I just got verified during the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when people see that Its Bizkitt name, it's like, they know, like, oh shit, like, they, you know, again, I don't want to use, like, blackball and stuff, but there's just people that can say certain things about you and kind of keep you,
well,
you know,
you the truth also. So, like, to actually be out here doing things that I think people behind the computers try and buzz digitally is a whole nother room of hate, because you get deleted, they get excited. Exactly.
And that's what I'm saying. Even with the music, like, I'm like, as far as the music goes right now, I know people that, because I screenshot here and there, but there's people that was like, when I dropped outside, there was people like, yo, this song, this like, I had a lot of positive, like, yo, this is a hit. Even Polo Hayes, like, when I was in the studio and I played it for him, he was like, yo, Biz, this is, you got a hit, like, this shit is, you know what I'm trying to say? But there's so many people, just like same thing like with Cardi B. They looking at her like, oh, she's a stripper, so she's not going to make
Always in a judge.
Yeah, so it's like, but I already know the vibe. So it's like, I'm not the type of person where I'm going to listen to what a bunch of people are saying to, like, make me forget what I'm doing.
Yeah, and
like,
you know,
I know what I'm doing. And the whole reason why when I started doing music, I didn't get a feature. I could always get a feature. Getting a feature isn't like the difficult part of the music, you know.
Yeah, nah, I mean, you
getting a feature is one phone call. Yo, let me get a verse, and you know, you get the verse. But when it comes to music, people always gonna, like, even they did it with French. Oh, he can't make a hit unless he has a feature, and this and that. And it's like French had to shut them up. Like, what you talking about? I done look at the word.
Did it.
Yeah, like, what you talking about? Shot call ain't have nobody on it. You know what I'm saying? So I know that you're better off doing your own thing and then start tapping in with the features. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at with it right now. So now you about to see mad features.
Well, now you got some features already, and I want to talk about the music. But before we get to music, I do have to ask you about something that I think was a turning point. You could tell me if it was something else, but you already know that whole Drake relationship. You're one of the few people who could even comment on his posts.
Yeah. Nah, Drake, you know, that came from, you know, Jada had his album out, and he had a performance at Emporium in Long Island, and at that time I was hanging with Jada. Me and Jada got a real relationship, like, you know what I mean? I've been on the road with him.
Yeah, from the jump.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got a real relationship with Kiss, so it's like, just to be working and doing things with, like, your favorite rapper, that was always ill to me, so I was always a fan of that, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, he came out to Long Island, and you know, at the time, you know, I had my camera guy with me, and I was like, I told him, I said, yo, Jada got a show in Long Island, and I was like, but you know what? I got mad footage. I was just with him, so I was basically telling him, like, yo, don't even worry about pulling up. But he's like, I ain't doing nothing, so boom. Fast forward, now this is when Meek and Drake was, like, their beef was, like, fresh. Like, their rap beef was fresh. Back to Back was out. Mad people stopped kind of playing Meek so much, but Flex was like, fuck this Canadian nigga, you know what I mean? Flex
doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
you in his city trying to do anything, it's quiet.
Flex had that energy, so it was like, I'm on stage and I'm literally, you know, doing what I do. I'm chilling. I'm drinking, watching, you know, watching the show.
That was proof for your blogger mind, by the way, what happened. But because I know a lot of people missed it when he said that, but your reaction.
Yeah, no, because that's the thing.
Like you knew.
Like And it's crazy too, because at the time Drake was following me and everything like that. Matter of fact, no, Drake wasn't following me at that moment. But I was so popping on Twitter that I was literally about to bust a tweet while I was on stage, and then I took it back because I'm like, damn, I don't want Meek to feel like I'm just attacking him because he was being attacked. Burger King, it was mad tweets. It was everybody
was coming at him crazy.
Yeah, it was like that was like the trend to like joke on Meek. So I was about to tweet while I was on stage like, yo, Meek lost the battle, but yo, Meek got hits. Cause like Flex was playing I'm a Boss. Meet me in the bathroom. Like
the
Flex
intro,
was,
I know he goes crazy with that
man,
set.
Flex was going in. So while Flex was, spinning a bunch of meat, I was like, I'm looking, and then out of nowhere he goes, "Fuck this Canadian nigga." So I literally looked at him, cause I'm like, yo, am I tweaking? Am I bugging?
Just
like,
heard some crazy shit.
I'm looking at him. Then I look out into the crowd. I'm on stage, and it looked like a deer in headlights. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking, cause I'm trying to see like, did anybody else hear that? Cause everybody else was just like kind of like bypassed it. And then my camera guy was like, "Yo, Biz," cause I asked him. I said, "Yo, bro, if you didn't get Flex saying that," cause I'm about to break the internet with just the soundbite of Flex saying it. So I'm like, "Yo, did you get that?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got it, and I got your face." And when he said that, I'm drunk. I'm half drunk. I'm like,
off the Henny.
Yeah. And yeah, Rose, it was a celebration. Kiss had his album out, you know what I mean? And we in Long Island, we comfortable. So I'm like, yo, did you get that? He said, "Yeah, I got it, and I got your face." So my Twitter wasn't suspended at the time, so I busted a tweet at like 5 in the morning when I got home with a clip. And this was the tweet. I wish I could back, once I get my Twitter back, I'm going to screenshot and post it. Mike, I tweeted, I said, "Yo, I watched this video 10 times. This shit is going to go viral." You know what I mean? And when I woke up, I had to go to a wedding the next day with wifey, and I woke up and I'm like, I'm getting ready to go crazy with that clip. I'm about to send it to my homegirl at Ball Alert. This shit was everywhere to the point where I couldn't even catch up to it. It took me like crazy. A month to catch up to it. Like, Complex, Double XL.
Yeah, no, I know people was hitting you for bookings after that.
I went to Vegas the same weekend because I be around a rapper, so I know like when you hot, that's when
go to Vegas.
It's not the time to be it's not the time to be watched when you lit. It's like, nah, you know what? So
was that the first time though, really going viral like that?
Nah, that was definitely on that level. That was it. And even at that time, shit was moving so fast. I didn't know Drake started following me, but
you got
his followers were saying, like, they was commenting it, Drake is following you. So I'm like, so I went to Drake's page and I typed in my name and I'm like, oh shit, he is following me. So I followed him back or whatever, and I hit him on a DM on something like, "Yo, I'm charged up." You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was a record.
Yeah, so and then he hit me back and he was like, "Yo, that video is hilarious." And then, I was just like, all right, cool, because shit was just moving so fast. And I'm so lit in Toronto already just because I do so much and I work with Peter Jackson and people like, so I had a showcase in Toronto, All-Star Weekend. This was, I guess, 4 years ago maybe. I'm bad with like the time frame, but maybe 4 years.
Time flies.
Yeah, maybe 5 years ago, but definitely 4 years ago. All-Star Weekend in Toronto, I had a showcase out there with Peter Jackson. We had mad artists pull up, and my boy hit me. He was like, "Yo, Biz, where you at? We had this Drake shit, and it's like -9 in Toronto, bro. It's freezing." So I'm like, "All right, bet." So boom, we get there, and you know what I mean. I saw Drake, and it was all love. He was like, "Yo, what's good?" He was like, "Yo, let's take a flick." Caught a flick. I'm so popping at the time. I was like the only person with a picture with Drake during All-Star Weekend. I posted up on my gram. My page is going through the roof, through the moon, through like my shit. I couldn't even keep up with like who's who and what's what. You know what I'm saying? Shit was just moving.
A lot of traffic.
And I'm outside and I'm lit in real life. So it's like shit was just happening.
Mind you, by yourself, because it's not a team that handles Its Bizkitt. Its Bizkitt handles Its Bizkitt.
Facts. And shit was just moving, Mike. And then we took the flick. I posted it. The Shade Room posted it. And this is like, the Shade Room probably had like 3 million followers at the time. It was like impossible to have 1 million followers at the time.
It's crazy.
Like, you know what I mean?
Nah, because I feel that made you a staple, bro. Like at that point, I think you won a lot of people over just because it was something that was so genuine and it wasn't like you could tell it happened on accident.
Yeah, man, and it was, and then again, like I'm a fan of it all, so it's like I'm never the type of person to sit and be like and act like I'm like nah, like I fuck with Drake, you know what I'm saying? I fuck with Meek too, you know what I mean? Like Meek is following me too, and I get a lot of support and I get a lot of love, but again, it's like I give it too. You know what I'm saying?
Straight
I
up.
support. I'm not I support artists from the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Even with Pop Smoke and Fabio, I literally just posted on my Instagram the screenshot of when I posted Big Drip and Drake liked it, and I told Fabio, I said, "Yo, Drake is fucking with your song." You know what I mean? Like, let's connect the dots. You know what I'm saying? That was a year ago. I just posted that yesterday. You know what I'm saying? So again, even with an artist like Fabio, rest in peace of Pop Smoke. You know what I mean? Just being in New York and like seeing what they doing, like when they had 10,000 followers, I'm like, yo, send me your song so I can post it on my page. My shit is lit. Like,
you feel the energy.
Yeah, like it's nothing wrong with showing love and showing support to people that's working. You know what I'm saying? Because again, like I know the vibe, so it's like, I don't get motivated off of hate. Like, I don't look like, oh shit, I got a hater. Let me put my Timbs on and let me walk around. Like, nah. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. I get motivated off of love. So when people see me, yo, Biz, I love what you're doing. That's what keeps, that's like, it feels good. Like, you know what I mean? To get recognized and that type of vibe. So that's just like what I'm on. And I encourage that. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's enough hate. There's enough pages trying to expose people. It don't need to be another...
and it's not productive. You know, like at the end of the day, I think that's the reason that I say you one of the few. It's a short list of people I can respect because you do a lot of things that other people are out here trying to do, but it's like the energy that you bring to it. I think is different, and even with the music, man. Like we got to talk about the music you making. The people that showed up to your video, if you're just an artist that hasn't put in the work with a budget, you're looking at 50 racks to get these people out. And I know these people are coming out for the love, whether you post them or not. Mm-hmm. What was it with the music that even made you want to get into that side of things?
All right, so like, I got the character Uncle Biz, and Uncle Biz is stuck in 02. Like he's not going to 03. He's not going to 03. He's like stuck. He's listening to Get Rich or Die Trying right now. You know what I mean? DMX is his favorite rapper. You feel me? Like, Uncle Biz is wearing Pele's, Timbs through the summer. You know what I mean? Just, every New York fitted, white,
7XTs.
Yeah, do-rags. Just the whole vibe, So, I was going viral as Uncle Biz because I was, go to these events.
Yeah, as Uncle Biz.
Looking like I just came home from doing like 20 joints. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, I know how the internet works. So at the time, I'm like, yo, I was saying it for 2 years, Mike. You know what I'm saying? I was talking to DJ Self. I said, yo, I'm going to put out a song. And they were like, where are you going to put out a song? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to put out a song. And he kept saying, all right, do it. Like, and I'll play it or whatnot. So I'm like, all right, I got you. So I hooked up with your people's Abstract over there in Fast Life. And I went over there and shout out to DJ Stacks because he was definitely in the building. So when I went there, I'm listening to, again, what he got. And, like, he was letting me hear songs that he got with Coi Leray and just different artists that he was working with. Lou Got Cash. And I'm like, damn, man, this shit sounds good. I'm like, and now I'm thinking, like, yo, send me some beats because I'll shop them around with, like, different artists that I fuck with. Like, yo, I can send something to Drake. Like, if I hear it, I feel like... It
makes sense.
Right. So he was like, damn, bitch. He's like, yo, you show mad love. He was like, yo, could I do anything for you? And I planted the seed right there with him. I said, yo, I want to do a song. But I'm like, you probably don't got no beats like for me because I want some old school shit. He's like, yo, send me some records and I'll put it together. So I said, one day I was on a train. Sometimes it's like you gotta really go back, and the way you go back, you gotta really like get back to like the grind. So I'm literally on a train for no reason going into the city, and I'm listening to Mini Man. I'm listening to New York Minute, Welcome to New York City, like anything that had New York in it. So I'm sending him all of these songs, and I'm on my way to the studio. So he literally cooking up the beat. as soon as I got there, he played a beat. He was like, yo, I made two tracks. So he played me the first one, which I still got to go back to this day.
He works quick, yeah.
But then when he played me the Uncle Biz in the spot, I'm like, yo, let me just go in the booth. Because I had like New York. I had like my spinach. I was like Popeye, you know what I mean? So as soon as I went in the booth, I'm like, New York, Uncle Biz in the building. I literally freestyled it.
Oh, that whole shit? You didn't write nothing?
Nah, I didn't write nothing down.
That's crazy.
I'm like, but you know, it's funny because like while I was doing it, I'm on Instagram. I really was just on Instagram, and then Fat Boy, he saw me. He said, yo, you in the city? I'm like, yeah, I'm in the studio. Pull up. So he pulled up. Daytona pulled up. You know, me and Murder Mook was doing the podcast. Murder Mook pulled up. So it was like, I was so happy when I saw Murder Mook because I'm like, yo, I'm about to put, like, I'm working on this song. And you know, he looking at me, and I'm like, yo, my shit got to be fire, though. I don't want to put out nothing that ain't got bars and shit. So he came through, and, man, it was just a vibe. And, you know, we just getting started in the spot. I just parked up in the lot, came through in the drop top. We still bumped Biggie in the spot. Like, that's just the vibe. So it just came out. And I bumped into your man Flex at the Hammerstein Ballroom. This is when the Baby record started going crazy.
Okay.
Suge.
Got you.
So I'm looking at Flex, and I'm like, how can I ask Flex to play my song without being that guy?
Yeah.
Because obviously, you know.
Nah, I already know. Yeah. Like, Flex don't fuck with nobody.
And not even just that, just period. Like, it's just annoying when somebody comes up to you and, like, when you're that person.
Yeah,
it gets annoying because everybody says the same thing. So everybody's gonna, you know what I mean? Yo, I got a record. So it's like, damn. I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna say nothing.
I mean, that's why Flex, I mean, he's been doing this forever. Since before 02, people have been coming to him like, play my record.
So I saw him, and I'm looking, and I'm like, all right, I ain't gonna even say nothing, because I don't want to be that guy. I gave him a dap, yo, Flex was good. He's like, yo, send me your song. And because Tat Wizard, shout out to Flex, shout out to Tat Wizard, Joe Jackson. They fans of Uncle Biz because Uncle Biz is old school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
So he seen my clip on the gram. I'm in IMI Studios. I got Chris Gotti and Steve Abell. We all rocking to it. But he's like, yo, send me your song. So when he said it, I'm thinking like, shit, I don't even got it. I just got the Instagram clip. You feel me?
Alright.
But I hit up Abstract, and I'm like, yo, you in the studio still? He like,
always.
He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, we gotta finish this record because Flex won it, and I don't want to. You know, I know how this game goes. So like, somebody might want something right then and there. I couldn't give it to him next week. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm putting it together. I'm panicking. I'm hitting up Harry Fraud. Like, yo, bro, listen to this song I did. He's like, it's your song? I'm like, yeah. He's like, all right. And, you know, it's a blessing to have people like Harry Fraud, because Fraud is like, yo, put the second verse first. Change this, change that. So, like, you know, we all put it together. Man, I sent it to Flex. Next day, I'm in the shower. I get out. I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, damn, what did I just do? Because my shit is like, I'm thinking like, damn, what did I post? But my shit is just
booming,
going crazy. And Flex played it.
Crazy.
And I'm a rapper now. That's how it happened, man.
So, I mean, now you outside. You got the song, I'm Outside. You got the remix, Dream Doll, Jada.
And more verses is coming.
So, what's the plan, like, ultimately? Because, I mean, you continue to evolve from, like, selling mixtapes to doing the blogging to going into rap to everything.
It's again, I'm having fun, you know what I mean? And you know, to have energy to be able to do anything, you gotta love what you do. You know what I'm saying? So, obviously, it's just, I'm just having fun, man, and I'm not really looking for nobody's approval. I'm not trying to impress anybody. You know what I mean? All I'm doing is inspiring and motivating others to, like, show, like, yo, you can do it if you believe in it enough. And if, you know...
The quotes that you posted, too, have been hitting crazy.
But see, that I was doing that on Twitter. It's just, I felt handicapped on tweeting from the account that I'm tweeting from now because I missed my account. That's why I'm praying to God every day to give me my old account. So I was going to put out a book of tweets a long time ago. Yo, if I had my old Twitter... Like, yo, crazy. I was always waking up and telling people, yo, if you could work for 8 hours for somebody else, you could work 8 hours for yourself. Like, you know, that was my whole thing. That's my whole vibe. I got tweets from years ago. You feel me? So, you know,
craziness.
Yeah.
Well, somebody got to hit the Kardashians to lift that ban over because
or Trump or somebody. Yeah, like,
one of y'all.
You know, I'm very influential, and that's the problem. It's like, you know, you know, when you do go viral, and when you get a lot of attention, when your tweets go crazy, it's like it's good and it's bad because you know any people come for you. You know what I mean? But that's why now I'm protected.
Well, you doing your thing, and I know the gram you verify that blue check goes a long way when it comes to posting.
Yeah, because some people like you know me, and you know I'm verified without the blue check, but you know the shout out to Fashion Nova, like
yeah,
you know what I mean?
straight up,
they're like,
it,
oh
bro.
yeah, okay, you like they look at it like you're legit now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you continue to do more and more amazing things, and like I said, bro, like in the beginning where I didn't get it, to now see you flourish is like it makes me the happiest. It gives me hope. And you know, I got faith in everything you do, bro, because you're changing the world out here.
Appreciate it. And you see Janet Jackson posted, you know what I mean? You know?
I wasn't even going to bring up Janet.
Yeah, and that was big because at that moment, like, you know, you have these moments where, like, you kind of, you know, you lose the energy and stuff. And, pardon me, at that moment, I was actually like, yo, I'm about to be off social media because it was like I was, you know, Long Island and everywhere in the world is somebody that's racist. So it's like, everywhere. You know, the George Floyd thing, you know, happened. It was just bad times, man. It was like, damn, you know, it's hard to connect with your family because everybody's quarantining. And I was driving. You know, back in the day, you just get in your car, you just drive. So I was like, yo, I'm just driving. So I went upstate, went to Bear Mountain, and I'm just like, just kind of like trying to find like that peace. And I wasn't even gonna do no video. You know, sometimes you like, you don't really got a haircut. You like, I ain't gonna. I said, you know what, whatever. So I did a video because I was talking to somebody at the moment, and I was like telling them like, yo, I got love for you. They was like, yo, man, I feel better. And I'm like, you know what? I'm like, yo, tell somebody else that you got love for them. You know what I mean?
That's it, straight up.
And then I did the video, and I'm like, yo, man, at this moment, you know what I mean? If you're watching this, you know, somebody got love for you, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then I put my phone in my pocket, Mike. Right after I posted, I was off. I was like,
breathing in the mountains.
Yeah, I jumped in the car. Bro, my phone was vibrating. So I'm looking. My man hit me. He said, yo, you know Janet Jackson? So I'm like, I can't text her. You know what I'm saying? Who don't know Janet Jackson? You know, she posted a video on Twitter. So I'm like, and I'm trying my best not to be on social media for like a good hour, which being the biggest blogger in the world.
It's addicting.
It's impossible. So I'm like, you know what? I jump back on the gram. And I'm like, oh shit, this shit got 1 million views? So crazy. I'm like closing the app, opening it back up, because I'm like, that, you know, I get numbers, but I'm like 1 million is a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Bro, Drake hit me. He's like, Snoop sent it to him. It was just going crazy, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I sent that to hella people too. It's like that genuine energy just spread, bro.
And again, it felt so good because I know I touched people, you know what I'm saying, like all over the world. And, you know, it's just through positivity, and it's ill that went viral because, of course, you know, you walk and you knock somebody out or somebody dies, and you know, all of that stuff we see all the time. So I was just happy that, you know, it worked out that way. Because again, it was one of those days where I didn't have the energy for it. You know what I mean?
That's always how it works though. When you least expect it, that's when something go crazy.
Went crazy.
Well, I'm sure you didn't expect the music to go this crazy. I know you got to get to a video and all today.
Oh yeah, man. I'm a rapper now, and I was really thinking about putting an album together, and I was trying to put a name together because, you know, I'm a marketing genius. So I'm a rapper now. It's gonna be the title.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Great
I got the title
man.
now, so I'm like, all right, bet. Now I can package it up.
Say that. Well, anything you need from me, you know it's all love, bro. And
I just need you to wear the I'm a Rapper Now t-shirts and merch and support the whole I'm a Rapper Now.
You know it's crazy. I wore a shirt to Summer Jam like maybe 2 years ago when we was hosting on stage, all that, and it said, I am not a rapper.
So I remember those.
I'm going to have to get an I'm a Rapper Now t-shirt and really flip the script on them.
Let's do it, Mike.
You need some bars. You know I got the bars.
I do. We got to, next time I go in the studio, I need you though.
I'm gonna come with the worst
I need
bars
you to like
ever
A&R the project, cause you know you low key you done did a lot too, bro. Like,
I learned a lot.
You got Live
bro.
Like Davis, you know what I'm saying?
Big up Davis,
and he doing his thing. You feel me? So
just know it come from the same place, bro. It just come from loving the culture, loving mixtapes, not fucking with a lot of the shenanigans, and just really trying to connect with good people, man. Like I got into this on that same tip, but like I really felt shit Nas was saying as a kid. I was selling mixtapes out here in Queens too, and it's like, I just want to be around that energy because it's really uplifting and make you feel good, picking the brains of people that do things that's inspiring. So, Like I said, bro, you one of the few in a short list of people I really, really respect in this game, and the work is paying off and is going to continue to pay off.
Absolutely, bro. Grind don't stop. We outside with it. You know the vibes with it.
Make sure
in the building.
Y'all follow Its Bizkitt on his gram. Follow him everywhere. Support the music. Go stream the song 10 times today.
I appreciate the love, man.
Always.
And I show it back. You heard? God bless everybody. It's Bizkit, the biggest blogger in the world.
#1.